unfiltered conversations about the sport that we all love and are passionate about.
Hi, welcome to Off the Cover on MX24 television. My name is Derrick, Ayim, and today we're having an exclusive interview with Mr. Ampofo, who is the chairman of Ghana Beach Soccer. But then he's going to walk us through how this journey has been for him in this business. He started way back in 1997. He's going to walk us through to tell us every single bit that happened in his career up until date. Now he is also the head of sports of IMAX Media. He's going to tell us more on that as well. Welcome, sir, and thanks for your time.
Good afternoon. It's good to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing and exhilarating to see you because I remember being under your shelf and coaching me, and now you're here and I'm hosting you. It's absolutely incredible, isn't it?
It's all good. As Denzel Washington would say, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So let's set the ball rolling. And I mean, I was there in 2017 where you had to hold a seminar at GIJ, 20 years in journalism. But bring us closer to what you've been through from that time to now.
Yeah, thanks, Derrick. It's good to see you, and I'm really happy that you're doing your own thing here at MX24. Really proud of you. Yeah, it's been a long journey, as you rightly say, but I mean, if you want to start from the beginning, then you have to go way back before then. But I'm just grateful that I've been able to get the support, the pathways, the right people, and I've just been blessed to be at the right place at the right time, almost literally. And anytime I get the platform, I do mention KKD, who opened the doors for me for the very first time in 1997, as you rightly said. Yeah. Choice Sunshine Radio, which then became Choice FM. That's how I started on radio. So it's been a long journey, but I wouldn't have been able to go through it without these great people giving me the platform and opportunities. So I always want to, give appreciation to those who gave me the chance very early on when I knew nothing about broadcasting, about radio, about television, nothing. But they saw something, and I'm always grateful to that. I can mention Emma Morrison as another person who took me to TV3. I've been under the tutors of Tommy Anamforson, Edward Fache. I mean, these are all great guys that were or are still, legends in their own right. So I happened to be at the right place at the right time. Had a platform to work with the likes of Moses Fuamwani. So I close up, I saw all these great people who are still in the industry doing their own things. Kwabena Japan, the engineer would come to Choice FM to do a sports program. And it's all about passion, I think. Yeah. The passion has been there from day one. And if you have the passion, the rest just follows.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. But at what point would you say that you just developed to be in sports, particularly in journalism?
Yeah, very good question. I think I've always had a love for sport. I'm just like you, Maybe I was younger than you, but the passion was there, and then obviously you develop that gradually into something more meaningful. And the people around were conscious to say that, go to school, add to what you have. Talent alone is not enough. I kept on hearing this, especially from KKD and Tommy Anamforson. So as it happened, I would always want to learn more and acquire new knowledge. But it was a passion that drove me. It wasn't money. It wasn't any material rewards or anything like that. Just the raw passion. So once that fuel was there, I was getting support to energize my ambitions, TV3, Metro, and then of course BBC and Super Sports. It's just the passion that drives it. Absolutely. But in each case, you need to add to whatever you have in order to move to the next level. If you don't do that, what happens is that you find that the passion alone cannot take you beyond a certain point. So that drives you. You add on, you learn, you acquire, you make mistakes, and all the rest of it. And with time, they begin to call you an expert. Absolutely. But it's not really about being an expert. It's just that you've done it for so long, it almost becomes second nature. Yeah.
Right. You've been in so many tournaments. You've covered so many tournaments. But which would you say was your very best?
Ooh. Very best is difficult because each had its own fascinating, lessons. Egypt 2006, AFCON was perhaps the most intriguing because Ghana were kicked out of the first round. The Black Stars were kicked out of the first round, beaten by Zimbabwe. The group had Nigeria, Senegal. It was a very tough group. And Ratimir Dukovic was coach, and it was tough. And at that point, Ghana was at a crossroads whether to keep Dukovic to the World Cup, which was, of course, the plan, because Dukovic had qualified Ghana to the World Cup.
Yeah.
But the poor performance kind of gave a lot of unease at the FA, at the state, ministry. Can this man take us to the World Cup? But they stuck with him, and we all know what happened in 2006. So Egypt was great, we're in Port Said. It was very cold at that time of the year, and you have to do your reports and go back to the hotel, package it. And that's when the diaries started, the Black Stars diaries, the fans' diaries. So getting up close and personal with the players, Stephen Appiah, Lai Kingston, and all these guys gives you a different dimension, and you appreciate more what it's all about. It's not just about the 90 minutes on the pitch. So much goes into 90 minutes that you begin to appreciate the kind of work, the sacrifices, the meticulous coaching that goes into it. And I learned a lot from that, which carried me into Germany 2006. So,
Right.
yeah, Egypt was awesome. My first. Germany was also great. We hadn't been to the World Cup. So
First
great
time.
experiences, right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll be taking a look at some pictures, and I'm sure you're going to identify them one after the other. But if you take a look at your time in journalism and now, what has really changed?
Oh, technology, no doubt about it. We didn't have social media as it is now. A lot of things were done by scripting, pen on paper, printing. You have to wait. If power goes off, you write. It was very. But again, at that time, it seemed normal because.
So that was it. What show was this?
TV3. So you've gone into the archives to get all these.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this was TV3 sports station, I'm sure. And I must have been 21 or I don't know. I was very young. I started very young. So
who is that behind you?
my sound man, he's still in the industry. I don't know if he's still at TV3 though, but he was, miking me up as your guys did as I entered the studio. So yeah, we started way back.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you're talking about the old and new way of journalism now.
So there was no Facebook, I don't think so. There was no Instagram, obviously, no Twitter.
Yeah.
So now the media is not just a platform. The media is a world. You can converge at one place and be accessible to the world, literally. We didn't have that, and at that time there was also only TV3, Metro, GBC, the national broadcaster, and then a few others coming up, quite a few radio stations. So
what are this?
This is probably more recent. This is probably a radio station. Could be Choice.
Yeah, Choice.
Could be, Yep. All these pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Choice, but this is probably about 10 years ago. I don't know, maybe earlier. Yeah, so radio and television were my passion, but I always prefer radio. Radio is where I feel very relaxed and comfortable. Radio is where my strength is as compared to TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. But, how would you juxtapose the two, radio and television? How would you, which one do you think people should rather go for? Or you think that when they feel they are better off on TV, they should go for TV? Or if they're better off with radio, they should go for radio?
Yeah. I think radio is more personal because you see, you only hear the voice. So you have to feel the vibe, the pulse, the mood, the emotions of the person speaking. So if you're able to carry that across your audience, then that's good. Television is more conscious. People can see you, so you don't need to. You just sit and talk. Literally, it's more demanding in terms of now the packaging and the research, the production values, and the kind of things you need to do now to make it succinct, you know, very sharp quality, you know, pictures and audio. Everything has to be right so the viewer enjoys an experience. It doesn't become torture.
Yeah.
But radio, I think, is more personal. You talk, but you need to get your emotions across from your voice. And the words you choose to use is very important. So for me, radio is more, and radio is a form of therapy for me. You know, I can do programs where there's some music in there. Once in a while, you speak and you get a lot of, you know, energy from that. So for me, I've always preferred radio. I'm more comfortable when I'm on radio.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you've been with top television stations, with the BBC Super Sport TV, with the Metro Television, and now with Max TV. But what's the difference between all these stations or television stations you've been with?
Well, every station has its unique strength. Every station has its unique, you know, flavor, vibe, qualities. So if you want to make a direct comparison, you might, you know, stray. But everywhere I've been so far, I've learned so much from, you know, whether it's Super Sports, whether it's TV3, you know, Joy FM, you know, Metro. Everyone has its distinct strengths, and thankfully they're all in existence. They're all still in the business. So it's about how you connect to what I might get from, you know, MX24 could be different from what you would get, and the same way at TV3, Metro, and Super Sport. So it depends on you, and also it depends on what the station wants from you. So it's give and take. You know, specifically the station might say, we want you to do this for us. And then you have to now, you know, play that role. Or you might rather engage that network and say, I want to do this for you. And then you need to fit into their structure, you know, their philosophy. Every station has its own brand and what they're good at. You can't do everything. Every station has its strengths. And I think you need to focus on your strength. Do it well and, you know, do it to the best rather than try to do everything that everybody else is doing.
All right, still with Mr. Ampofo, Ankrah, one interview with him, and he's been telling us right from day one where it all started for him. And since 1997, he's been in this journalism business, and it's been absolutely incredible, and he's helping young people achieve their dream. But before we even delve into other matters, at what point did you, say that you're going to have your own association, and why beach soccer?
Ghana Beach Soccer. Yeah, again, it goes back to the World Cup in 2006, where after Ghana was beaten by Brazil in the second round, you know, the journalists, one good thing about the World Cup is that after the matches, away from the football, you meet journalists from different countries, from different continents, and that's where you vibe, you bond, you share ideas, you interact. And one of the things that we were discussing was that the Brazilians were so impressed with Ghana. You know, your guys can play football. They just lost because they're inexperienced, you know, and surely they must be good at beach soccer, right? And I'm like, what's beach soccer? Yeah, okay. You know, so that began the conversation. In fact, they were trying to organize a nearby beach, artificial beach, so we play, but we were not enough journalists and it wasn't well planned. But that idea of beach soccer, okay, I said, yeah, we have beaches in Ghana, but people play for fun. It's not organized. It's not a big deal. So coming back and fast forward, we put a few teams together. They liked it. It was fun. And we realized that, okay, we can do something. And then fast forward again, we got it registered at the National Sports Council, which it was at the time. And I'm trying to, the name has slipped, you know. But then moving forward, we had teams, they registered, we had tournaments, and then one thing led to the other, and then there was the Black Sharks, the national team was born. It just kept on growing, and to date, beach soccer keeps evolving.
So, on the scale of 10, what would you think Ghana Beach Soccer is on the map now?
Well, now it's at a crossroads, no doubt about it. Under the GFA, you know, umbrella, beach soccer hopefully will be able to play World Cup and AFCON qualifiers. Mind you, Ghana's been to the AFCON in Seychelles, in Nigeria. You know, we played qualifiers in Uganda, in Kenya, South Africa. But because beach soccer doesn't have the mileage and following as football does, and maybe other sports, it's been under the radar. Hopefully this will change. And television means that a new dawn where people can watch the games live or recorded. They'll get closer to the action. They'll go to the beaches and watch. And then that begins to pick up. There'll be live radio commentary. We've not done that before. So I think we're at a crossroads. And hopefully with this FA Cup coming up at the end of May, people should now see a different vibe of beach soccer with the support and, you know, additional mileage of the Ghana Football Association.
So what was the plan to introduce beach soccer FA Cup? And we'll be displaying the draw pretty soon. But I mean, what came into mind to put together a cup game of beach soccer?
So COVID-19 has really blighted beach soccer because His Excellency, you know, Nana Akufo-Addo, with consultations, obviously, by the COVID-19 task force, Ministry of Health, other stakeholders who took that decision to close beaches. So we couldn't have beach soccer events. All we did was friendly games and, you know, matches that were at a low key. And we couldn't participate in the qualifiers, play against Uganda. We couldn't go to Senegal. So that's taken about 2 years away. So what we want to do now is to bring the clubs together, play a knockout tournament, at least get them in the groove, the rhythm, get to know the teams, the players, and then we can play the league, which will be the bigger tournaments.
How many teams participating?
And the FA Cup, 16 teams. The draw was done last week at the GFA headquarters. So 16 teams will participate in that. And then after that, hopefully the winner will be able to represent Ghana at an intercontinental tournament. Then we have the league, which will also be open to at least 16 teams.
When does it start in the league?
It will start in July, obviously after the FA Cup in May, and then ends in June. So hopefully by the end of July, we should kick off with the Ghana National Beach Soccer League.
Absolutely. What has been the bane of Ghana Beach Soccer, and what do you think we should be doing, journalists should be doing to improve on Ghana Beach Soccer as well?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I say this and I get criticized, but it's true. In Ghana, we have 90% football journalists. You know, they're not sports journalists. And people get offended when I say that, but it's true. You go to other countries where sports journalists are not limited to the EPL, for example. If you want to specialize in the EPL, no problem. Champions League. But you see that in Ghana, it's more Hearts Kotoko, Black Stars, Chelsea, Liverpool. And that's quite limited. You know, it's limiting. It's football heavy. You can't blame them. That's probably how... That's where the eyeballs are. That's where the attention is. But if you want to be a sports journalist, you've got to tap into tennis, boxing, athletics, cricket, widen your scope, and then you can specialize. What happens here is that we don't specialize, or we go into football, and that's it. And then occasionally, we bring other sports in. I don't think it's okay, because what happens is that we are not contributing to sports development. What we're doing is football. There may be development, you can call it that, but it's not really development if it's one way. So I try to encourage journalists to be more open to being sports journalists and then specialize. You know, why don't you take swimming? I know maybe it's not your passion, but have the facts, the stats, the rules, and have that as a strength. And you can still do football, you know, but 90% of the Ghanaian sports journalists are football journalists.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's something that we need to look at, and I think gradually others are moving away from, you know, hardcore football alone and doing cycling, as I said, athletics, boxing, beach soccer, and the rest. So it's positive, yeah.
And the next 5 years, where do you want to see Ghana Beach Soccer?
5 years from now?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 games from now, Ghana should be able to win the African Cup, beach soccer. Ghana should be able to qualify for the World Cup, you know, get to the medal zone. And the sky is not out, is not the limit. There's a lot of work that would go into it. But we have the talent, we just need support. We don't have a beach soccer arena in Ghana. I'll be happy to see 1 or 2 in, you know, in the Western region, Central region, Greater Accra, Volta. These are the core beach soccer coastal areas. Beyond that, we can look at other regions, the Eastern region, Ashanti. It will grow. Once we have the sand, you have the arena, you have the rules, the players, I think it will spiral and grow big.
Absolutely. We're still in conversation with Mr. Ampofo Ankrah, who is the chairman of Ghana Beach Soccer. So if you do have some messages, you can send them, and I'm going to read them for him to listen to. And if he has to answer some questions, he would answer. So number is 055-0331 511 055-0331 511. Not only are you into beach soccer, but you're still in football agency. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah.
First of all, boots and books.
Yeah, Books and Boots. You've been part of Books and Boots, doing commentary and all the rest. It's just about unearthing talents. That's all it is. But the basic thing is that all the kids in Books and Boots must be in school. They must be regular school attendees. And the reason being that if there's a talent and we want to push this talent beyond the shores of Ghana, maybe a scholarship is available. It can happen. You know, we've had cases where brilliant Mexican kids in school are spotted by an agent, and they not only take that kid, they make sure that the school benefits, the parents will travel with him to his destination in the US or Europe. He goes to school, he's trained, and his school continues to benefit. And that gives you a sense of, you know, connection. And I think it's, if you're not in school, Books and Boots encourages you to be in school. So the books first before the boots. And that is why...
So that, White Wolves.
Sure, White Wolves. And they're what I've been doing over the past few years is basically acting as a consultant to these academies. You know, I worked for Right to Dream for about a year, Tom Vernon, and I learned a lot from him. And his academy, Right to Dream, is probably one of the most successful in Africa. And you see what he's done by going to Norgeland and Denmark. He's bought a team in Europe. He started in Do, just here, you know, with nothing but grass and one changing room. So from there, it can happen. So using my little bit of experience and knowledge and people that I've worked with, I've decided to help others who are now starting to make sure that education is a cornerstone of any academy. And they can go far. They can go as far as possible, you know. Some of our players that attended Books and Boots, notably Kudus Mohammed in Nima, Kalkudi. So when we see that, we're happy that these kids started from nowhere, Zongos, you know, the gutters, as it were, and now they're playing in the big league, football, you know. So it's very rewarding and satisfying when we see that happen.
But something interesting in there, the players could go trials in Turkey and also in Dubai. I mean, can you enlighten us on that?
Yeah, for White Wolves, recently a tournament held in Dubai, they ended up winning that tournament. And the good thing about it is that the rave reviews, the commendations, a lot of scouts wanted to get the players. But with talent, you've got to be ready. So the management, you know, Salim Manaf, the CEO, has come back with all the players, and he's now taking his time to sieve and see which players are ready to go on trials, which players are ready outright, and those that he will say, hold on, he's not ready, give us another 6 months, give us another year. He's doing the right thing. I think Salim Manaf should be commended for not rushing. You know, he could easily say, okay, $200,000, bring it. But he's not doing that. He's rather investing in these kids, making sure that they're good enough, so when they go out, they're not stuck, they're not below par, and they're not stranded. And I think that is the way forward as far as football development is concerned. So these trials in Dubai, in Turkey, would open the way for players, but their managers and agents must be sure that they're ready before they even plane and fly out. You know, physically, mentally, all the aspects. They can train here in Ghana and get the conditioning they need before they travel, and Salim Manaf can provide that as well.
Absolutely, he can certainly do that. So you can trust in him, Salim Manaf, to do exceptionally well for you and to let your ward get to where they want to go to. But before we leave, I won't let you leave before, if I don't allow you to talk about your Liverpool, who will take on Chelsea in the FA Cup, where if Jurgen Klopp is to beat Tuchel again, he's going to have the double, still have the quadruple inside. But how do you see that one playing out tomorrow?
It's tough. I think it would be harder for it to be easier for Liverpool to lose the FA Cup, the Champions League final, and the league,
Premier League, yeah,
because they're playing too many matches. It's almost as if every match is a final. And how much can the players take? The adrenaline, the pressure, the expectations. They can only take so much. We saw City; they cracked in the Bernabeu when they had literally won. Liverpool have to grind result, and every match for them is a final match. City have the advantage in the league. They've got the FA Cup final against Chelsea. It's going to be tough. Chelsea will not sit down for Liverpool to beat them twice. So Liverpool will have to play out of their skins, and then they have another final. They've got to think about their legs, and you can't save your legs for the final. So it's going to be very difficult for Klopp. I think the pressure is rather on Liverpool against Madrid. The pressure is on them. If they beat Chelsea, now 2 down, 2 to go.
Could it be possible?
Will City drop points? I doubt it. It will be very difficult now. I don't see Aston Villa and who's the West Ham. Maybe, but City just look too focused.
But you've watched your team play, in the UK just about a couple of months ago. Don't you think that what you saw? Don't you think they've got that? That sort of momentum to do unthinkable.
I think if there's one team that you shouldn't write off, it's Liverpool. But what I'm saying is that the reality is that it's hard. It's going to be very difficult. I watched them recently at the Emirates against Arsenal, and Liverpool didn't really play that well, but they won. That's what they've been doing, showing that character. Can they do it in their last 2 games in the league and hope City slip? Can they do it against Madrid? And if they're able to do it, it will be the first time a club has played so many matches in club football. It's never happened. You play all the matches in Carabao, in the FA Cup, in the Champions League, and the league you're pushing. It's humanly it's difficult, and already players like Fabinho is out of the FA Cup. If Klopp has other players out before then, he's going to be in big trouble.
Absolutely. But what do you make of the new signee, Luis Diaz, who was coming for Liverpool this season?
Awesome. And it goes back to scouting. And this guy was spotted in Colombia by an agent way back. And if you see the documentary, he was just playing with his school team, as it were, and they saw something in his kid. And fast forward that 9 years later, he's on the verge of perhaps getting a quadruple. But he had to go through club sides, he's had up and downs. The football education has been ongoing. And at the right time, Liverpool went in for him. And that's exactly what you need to do. Take your time, build, and then at the right time, the opportunities would, come, and then you'll be able to fit in.
And finally, Ghana Premier League. It's getting interesting every now and then, every single time. But one thing we had is that one big news is that the 20-year-old Frank Mbele Tuga has been called up to the Cameroonian national team. How big is this for Kotoko and also even for a player to be playing in Ghana Premier League?
It's great news. You need to commend Nanayo Ampofo and his team for scouting him and his fellow Cameroonian. Nobody knew them. First time in Ghana, playing in the Premier League, he's taken it by storm. He didn't have pre-season, so there's something about that player. The challenge now is, will he stay another season before he goes? Or, the Wolves are circling. They want him now. If he goes now, it will be a loss to Ghana. It will be a loss to the Ghana Premier League and to Kotoko, but it's about business. It's about timing. They may let him go. He's an excellent player, and I think between him and Yawano, he has the advantage. But about 6 matches to go. It's not over yet.
But do you think he can break Ismail Aldo's record?
Possibly. He could have had a hat-trick in the last game. If he did...
Missed 2 penalties.
Exactly. So it's possible. He's missed a few penalties. He's missed quite a number of chances. His conversion rate, though, has been excellent. If he scores more, then he'll be creeping closer to that record.
Absolutely. But before you take leave of us, Fernando, what do you have to tell those upcoming journalists coming up?
Yeah, just, you know, the passion. I keep saying that. If the passion isn't there, you're going to have challenges, because it gets to a point where it's not about the money. Yes, the money pays the bills, takes you, you know, it does, it's good. But before then, package yourself. Make sure you're the package and you can fit in. If today you get a call from CNN, can you fit in? And that's where I think we should all try and aim at. BBC, Sky, you know, can we fit in? If they call us, come and do this. If you can, then you're on the right track. It doesn't happen overnight. You need to build yourself gradually. So when the chance comes and you get it, you excel, and then you go to the next level. So just prepare, you know, prepare yourself, package yourself, and of course, you've always got to remember it's about the God.
Absolutely.
It's God that takes and gives. So you give credit to God and make sure that you're close to God all the time.
Mr. Yao, thank you very much for your time. I'm very, very grateful for your time. Yeah, and so that's it. That's where we hand off the CAF on MX24 television. Don't forget, for more sports, do log on to MX24 online/sports for more of your latest of news. From myself and from the entire production crew, have a lovely weekend. Bye.
The 6th edition of the annual Kumasi Fashion Week returns in collaboration with the African Makeup and Beauty Fair this May. From the Thursday 12th to the Sunday 15th May 2022, live at the Kumasi City Mall. Admission is free. Get ready for the best of fashion and beauty the continent has to offer in Kumasi. Come and experience shopping, education,